Schaefer, and I own Alpha and Omega Counseling Center. We've been around since about 2007, and the counseling that we do here is off the normal track. It's not your mom or dad's counseling center. It's more for today, I think. We're not based in any one position or circumstance. My background is eclectic, so I'm into everything. I play music, I write, I counsel, I preach, I teach, I help. I have my hands in just about everything. I enjoy doing counseling, I enjoy helping, I enjoy playing. Keeps me well-rounded, and I've got a wife of 31 years and 3 kids, 4 grandkids, and 1 on the way. So that's me. Well, growing up, I was in and out of foster homes, in and out of jails, in and out of bad circumstances, and there were a few people in my life who, if they weren't there, I probably wouldn't be here. And so I can remember sitting in a jail cell at 14 years old saying that, if I made it to any degree, I wanted to be a counselor and help people, because coming up through the system, I didn't get any help. I was one of those throwaway kids. There was no money, there was no fame, there was no fortune. And so those kids, when they go into the system, they get thrown away. They get stored in back rooms, they get, switched over for anything. And those kids, those are the ones I try to reach today. Those are the ones that I try to make a difference in their lives today. When I first started doing counseling, I just started doing it from volunteering through AA and NA. I do have a drug and alcohol background. I don't know if I was really an addict and an alcoholic, but let's just say I really enjoyed my drugging and drinking. From there, the irony of life is that I got hit by a drunk driver, and I went through 6 major surgeries, and I could no longer do what I did, which was a professional contractor. So they offered me to go back to school, and it was like God opened the door. I was able to go into counseling, University of Scranton. I got my degree out of there as a returning adult student. I had never gone past 6th grade, so to be able to get my GED in Annandale State Prison, and then to be able to 20 some odd years later go back to school at Scranton University, to me was an honor. I always liked school, I just never had the opportunity to go. So I graduated out of there with my bachelor's degree, and then I went for my master's degree. And I graduated with my master's degree in 2006. I also belong to the American Counseling Association. I am state certified as a certified rehabilitation counselor. I'm board certified by the Human Service Educational Board in Pennsylvania. I belong to the National Rehabilitation Society. I belong to the Pennsylvania Rehabilitation Commission, and I follow all of those ethical guidelines. So I'm involved in a lot. I also work closely with a lot of the churches in the area, a lot of the counties in the area, and a lot of the other institutions in the area, probation, parole, both at the state, county, and federal level. I also work with children and youth at times. I also work with mental health and do informal assessments for folks who are going to court for custody and things like that. Well, I don't like religion and I don't like church. I have a real problem with it. Organized, let me put it that way. I have a real problem with organized religion and church per se. Some of the things that are being taught from the pulpit today, some of the some of the things that people are saying and some of the ideas that people have, I just have a real hard time with. Religion is a way to control people and make money. Spirituality is a way to have a relationship with a higher power. I don't care what religion or what sect of Christianity you come from. It doesn't matter whether you're Baptist or Pentecostal or Protestant or Catholic or it just doesn't matter. I serve everyone the same. There is one God crucified, coming back, risen, and who loves us. And that's what I try to focus on here, because I don't want this to be about dogma or denomination. I don't want your counseling, if you decide to get involved with Alpha and Omega Ministries / counseling, I don't want you to feel like you're pigeonholed into one place, because not one place helped me. Jesus Christ helped me, and that's where I got my freedom from. That's where I learned about grace, mercy, love, and favor, and the 4 principles I base my life on, which is dignity, honor, respect, and integrity. And they came right from the Bible. They came right from Christ's teaching. And let me also say, I don't care whether you're Hindu or Islamic or Christian or Jew or no faith at all. That doesn't mean you can't come here, and that doesn't mean you can't be identified with. Understand and know this. There is a God out there. That God does know who you are, and that God does love you no matter what you've done, and no matter where you've gone, no matter where you found yourself, no matter whether you've hurt people or had an abortion or been raped or molested, or you've hurt people or been in a gang like I was and had to hurt people to stay alive, whether you have had something bad happen to you in a foster home or a regular home, whether you've had to do things to steal, to eat, to stay alive, to guard yourself under a bridge, or to just live a regular life. I've been through it all, and so I understand everything that goes on in a life. And here at Alpha and Omega, you'll find that you are accepted for who you are, but we will also get you to where you want to go. I think that God really does live here, and that we really do care, and we bring a freedom to counseling. It's very eclectic. You're not locked or pigeonholed into one thing or another. There's never any judgment here. You'll never get any questions like, so how does that make you feel? You'll never get those kinds of questions, and you'll never be looked at differently or judged. I know that's a big deal, whether your anonymity or confidentiality will be held. If I see you out in the community, I wait for you to come up to me. I don't come up to you. I've had judges, I've had doctors, I've had nurses, I've had military, both active and inactive, military's families, EMTs, every walk of life, nurses. And so what I'd like to do is to deal with each person individually and have each person feel comfortable in their situation and know that they can say anything here and not be judged, not be looked at differently, and get the help that they need. Plus, there's no books here. I mean, I have the book learning, I have the library, I have everything I need to go academic, but I find that counseling from the heart, counseling from relationship is what works best. When you come here to Alpha and Omega Counseling, you're not counseled stoically or from a book. You're counseled from a relationship perspective. I'm going to tell you about me. You're going to tell me about you. We're going to talk about what's best for you, what's going to work for you. And because God's allowed me to go through almost everything that a person can go through and still live, I have a first-person unique perspective on things. You're not getting a book answer. You're not getting a pat answer. You're actually getting an answer from life and from wisdom and knowledge. What we say and what we do has to line up. And Jesus never turned anybody away. And I know I'm focusing a lot on spirituality here, but I also believe that spirituality, every problem that we have has three core basic parts to it. We're spiritual creatures. We are in possession of a soul, which means that we have a mind, our will, and our emotions that all work together. And then we live in this physical body. And sometimes our mind, our emotions, and our will take us to different places that we don't quite understand. And here at Alpha and Omega, whether we're dealing with ministry issues or whether we're dealing with counseling issues, it doesn't matter whether you're straight, gay, bi, transgender, it doesn't matter. I posted something on Facebook the other day and I said, I'm sick and tired of all this transgender garbage that's going on in the news today. And it's not the transgender that I have the problem with, it's the political correctness and the hype that I have a problem with. And people making money off it and people stirring up controversy over it. Jesus made you the way you are. Whether you're straight, whether you're gay, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whether you're transgender or whether you're not. And our job is to get you comfortable enough to face whatever issues you have to face. And it doesn't matter what orientation you are. That would be like saying, because you're Jewish, you're not welcome here. Well, because you're gay, you're not welcome here. Those things are not true at Alpha and Omega Counseling. It doesn't matter. I have dealt with all types of people. In fact, one of my first clients was gay, and she and I went to places together that really taught me how to be able to separate the person from the orientation from the political correctness of it, and I think that's a big deal. We can get you where you need to go, and it doesn't matter where you need to go, we can get you there. But we're not afraid. You're not going to be turned away if you're different, if you look different, if you act different, if you feel different, if you're straight, if you're gay, if you're bi, if you're transgender, if you're a biker, if you're a hooker, if you're a stripper, if you're mentally incapacitated, if you have a crazy family, you're black, you're white, you're Chinese, you're Puerto Rican, or you're hysterical, or you're without emotion at all. Everyone is welcome here. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from or what orientation you are. At first, when I first started, I started doing very easy, well, not easy, but simple counseling. Now we do individual counseling. We do couples counseling, we do sibling counseling, we do parental counseling, we do marriage counseling, we do divorce counseling, we do rape counseling, molestation counseling, we do foster family counseling, we do blended family counseling, we do individual counseling as it pertains to whatever's going on in your life, drug and alcohol, if you're an adolescent. Our ages vary from 10 years old to about 70. Preteen is a specialty all unto itself, and geriatric counseling is a specialty all unto itself. Anybody in between 10 and 70 I deal with. And we deal with all of those issues and more. Transgender issues, gay issues, straight issues, family issues, money issues, court issues. If you're court appointed, we do anger management counseling. Anything that a person may need to be counseled for, I do. even as much as doing counseling to get you off prescription drugs or pharmaceuticals. If you've had a trauma in your family, grief counseling, trauma counseling. If someone has been hurt and now they need to be rehabilitated because they can no longer do what they used to do, we do rehabilitation counseling. I've even known to have done some job coaching in my day. So there's pretty much no area that we don't do here.